For those of you who isn't watching, I'm wearing this clothes that has this little blue creature, and this creature mouth is a hole where you can put tissue paper in it.
Yeah, I decided to get it for him because I thought it was very cute. And I got the Shin-chan one. So
I didn't
cute.
know he's always having a running nose.
Yep.
That's why they
this
put
character.
the hole like in the nose.
Okay, anyway, that's not the point of our episode. So, I want to say I'm so excited that we actually tried the food tasting and the
Oh
food.
my gosh,
they're
yes.
all so good.
What was your favorite?
The codfish, the ifu noodles.
Oh,
I can't wait for our friends and family to come to our wedding and actually try the food for themselves.
yes.
The standard, the quality is
Okay, for me, when I go to wedding, my favorite dish, it's always the first dish. The lempan.
yeah, the
cold
appetizers.
dishes. They are so good. And in the olden days, pre-COVID, there will be like one huge ones. And then everybody just take it, right?
Yep.
And I'll be like, wow, I'll pray and hope that nobody takes like my favorite one.
Which is what?
So I can take all. I don't know, like the jellyfish is nice.
Yeah, the jellyfish is
The
nice.
mango salad. Oh, those are so good. So if you're on the same table as me, good luck to you.
I'm
'Cause you got
salivating already.
no more mango salad.
I don't think you have much time to eat on the big day itself.
No, I'm saying like if you have ever shared the same table.
Also, COVID days 应该也不算 olden days 吧? It's only...
Pre-COVID, did I say olden days?
Yeah, you said in the olden days. I was like, oh, okay.
yes.
I thought my mom's era. Okay, in this episode, we want to answer one question by Matt Leo Dai. This person asks, how's the wedding planning coming along? My.
Hey guys, my name is James.
Hi, I'm Hazel.
And you're watching
The Couples
Classroom.
Counting down the days till we say I do.
Did you know that the wedding industry in Singapore is worth over $1.25 billion?
I'm in the right industry. So are you.
Yeah. Hey, high five to
Hey,
that.
but the money like never go to us.
I guess this is why a lot of people say, right, in Singapore, wedding expenses is one of the biggest expenses.
Oh, we feel it in our bones.
And couples spend an average of $30,000 to $50,000 on the big day. But no one talks about what this number actually does to a relationship before the wedding even happens.
Yeah, I think it's good for us to talk about it because right now, we are in the midst of doing this. We're
Yeah.
in the midst of contributing to this 1.5 billion economy in Singapore.
1.25.
1.25 billion wedding industry economy.
And before we start off this episode, I just want to put up a disclaimer. James and I are very lucky to have found a wedding planner called Pei.
Oh, yes.
Because over the course of this episode, I just want to say that she has saved us from so many arguments.
Yes. I can't believe you told me that you do not want a wedding coordinator or planner before we engaging Pei.
No, I can't believe that too. Okay, I, like many other brides, I feel like, oh, for my own wedding, I want to be hands-on, I want to put in effort into every single detail myself. I was thinking too much. I tell you now, I'm thinking too much.
But can I just say, you were very hands-on.
Thank you.
She MVP of the wedding because she really took everything and she replied most of the vendors. She really made sure everything is going. She's very on the ball. I would say she planned 60% and I planned 40% of the
No
wedding.
way. Pei Yi planned 70%.
No, as in if it's like
between the two of us.
Between the two of us, yes.
No, I also don't agree with that.
Well,
I
you
don't think
think you planned
I
more,
don't
right?
think you did 40%. But that's okay. Because I'm happy doing it.
Yes.
But
yes.
sometimes I low-key just feel like I hope that James will at least read the group chats. The group chats are there for a reason, right? Okay, he doesn't reply. That's fine. Then he come to ask me about what's happening. I'm like, they are right there. Like, just read it.
Yeah, but sometimes there are too many chats and then too many voices in the chat. So I just feel like one person should just be in charge of it. And then you tell me what's the final conclusion.
No, you read it yourself.
Okay.
So, Matt Leo, this is how the wedding planning is going. Right about like this.
Yes.
But the very first decision that caused me real stress, that happened very early on in the journey.
What was it?
I think this is the answer to every couple's wedding planning and why it caused them stress. The guest list.
Ah.
The guest list is tough, guys. Not kidding, like when I hosted for many different couples, right, they always tell me the same thing. The thing that takes up the most energy is planning the guest list. Because you got to remember, okay, who is coming, who is not, friends and family, who can sit with who doesn't want to sit with who doesn't want to see who. So it's like a whole Tetris, That's tough. Plus, when it comes to the guest list, I think I'm a lot more hands-on because I feel like maybe girls, we are just a bit more detailed than guys. I'm very afraid that James will miss out on small details. I don't want to end up, having asked this person to come for my wedding already, then forget to put this person's name in the guest list. Like, that's a big no-no for me. But it might very well happen if James takes over the planning. So
I can say it will happen.
Yeah.
That's why
I don't want that.
That's why I'm giving you this opportunity to be in charge of the wedding. Take it.
Okay, but at least read the chats. Okay, I'll gladly take it, but read the chats.
Okay, yes.
Okay, we have a deal.
Let me talk about my stress.
Oh.
Wait,
what stress you have? I want to hear. Okay, what stress?
Let me peel back a little bit because you are talking about the wedding prep stress.
Okay.
I want to say that there are many levels to stress. Emotionally to like physical stress.
Of course.
I want to talk about the emotional and mental stress of a wedding. And that is getting married. Getting married itself is a very stressful thing. Not because of the partner, but like I said in my previous episode, going into an unknown future with, of course, someone you love, is also a very stressful thing, right? Of course, the wedding prep is also something that will cause stress, but we are fortunate because we are both kind of in the wedding industry.
Yep. So we know better already.
Yes, we have opportunities to attend many weddings, from intimate ones to extravagant ones, and we are lucky enough to peep into the curtains of the wedding industry. And because of that, we kind of know what we want and what we do not want.
Yep.
For example, Hazy is very clear on which hotel venue she wants.
Yep.
We skip all hotel viewings, we skip all hotel hoppings, we went straight to the one that we want.
Yeah, but that's also because we've been to so many different hotels to perform or to host.
Correct.
So I know how the acoustics are like, how the food tastes, which is why I'm already very certain that, okay, I want this place.
Yeah, I've got friends that view up to like 10 over hotels and still cannot decide because sometimes it may be influenced by their parents, right? Parents want this, want that. And then in the end, and then price also, right? Hotels are very expensive right now. If you don't have the budget for it, then you got to pick something else.
Yeah. So yeah, that in itself is very stressful, I can imagine. Like just the thought of thinking about going to 15 different hotels to see which one fits you best. The amount of time, mental energy, and effort it takes, wow. So now that we are in this wedding planning season, was there a difference between the reality and your expectations back then? Like I know you're already a bit like stressed out, but after having stepped into this, do you feel like there's a difference?
I think Pei really, really helped to ease everything. Paying our wedding planner, she helped us uncover a lot of blind spots.
Yep.
A lot of things that we never knew might happen. She already have, thought of a solution for us.
Yeah. So it really helps that she has 11 different Excel sheets that she sends to us. And these Excel sheets are checklists for us to check, okay, whether have we gotten this done? Have we gotten that done? And it's all like planned according to timeline already. Like 6 months before your wedding, 3 months before your wedding, 2 months, 1 month, the week before your wedding.
Yes.
Different checklists. So it's really helpful for, people with very busy schedules, as we all are, right? In a very fast-paced and busy society like Singapore. That's like super, super helpful.
I think it's very important to have someone who is very experienced in this field to uncover these blind spots, because you just take one thing to go wrong and your biggest day will be ruined. You can be planning this wedding day for 6 months to a year, and let's say one thing wasn't checked properly. Let's say, or some people do not have a table, for example, right? Then that would ruin the experience of your guest. I think it's good to plan to the best of your ability, but give some space also. When things happen, you got to learn how to adapt.
Yeah, I fully agree. My expectations of wedding planning, right, will be, it's going to be a very fun, in the moment, joyous kind of energy, Whenever I have time, I sit down and complete a bit of things. Then I go to work, come back if I have time again, I complete the rest. But no, the reality of wedding planning, from my point of view, is that I have to consciously take out time, be in a good mental space, sit down and get the things done. It is almost impossible to do them on the go because many things require energy.
Yes.
And understanding one thing will ease a lot of the stress on your shoulders. That is, you cannot expect your wedding day to go perfectly. You have to allow some space for mistakes. This is our first time getting married. As much as we have been, performing or like hosting weddings, this comes from a different point of view where we are like the bride and groom ourselves.
Yes.
I feel like it is very demanding on us to expect that everything will go like 100% according to plan, even though we planned this for like 6 months to a year. That's very tough. So knowing that there might be mistakes on the day itself,
Yep.
it allows us to be in the moment a bit more.
Yes. However, I think knowing that we will have mistake on the day, but still having a solution, I think that's very important.
Yeah.
We cannot just have mistakes and then no solutions. We need someone to be there to solve it for us.
Yep.
That's why I think if there's one thing, and if you are planning your wedding, and if there's one thing that we feel at this moment that is helpful, is getting someone experienced to help you with your wedding, if you can. If not, then maybe ask around, do your homework to see that what should you do for your wedding to make it, the best.
I'm going to host this wedding just this coming weekend, right? And the bride and the groom, I was just at their house talking about like the wedding, the rundown and stuff like that. They're very hands-on because they choose to be. It's not like, they don't want to spend money on a wedding planner, nothing like that. But because they want to put in their all for their wedding. But after this whole process, right, I was talking to the groom. They were they have Excel sheets, Canvas sheets, spreadsheets, all those,
Yeah.
very effort. But after that, the groom told me, actually, if I could turn time back or if I had to plan for another event or wedding, I would totally spend money to hire a wedding coordinator. Because I guess it's great that he has had the experience and he has tried, putting in his all for his big day. But maybe he just felt like he didn't really enjoy the process or it took away too much of him.
Yep.
But it's great that he experienced it first. So I'm just saying that some people might consciously choose to plan for their own wedding and consciously not want a wedding planner in the equation.
I see. Now, if wedding planning is so expensive, the report has shown that, 30 to 50K, some even more. Okay, so if let's say having a wedding is so expensive, right, it can go up to even 6 digits. I've seen couples spending 6 digits on wedding. Do you ever think you will elope?
Elope?
Now, let me define the definition of elope for those of you who's not familiar with the concept. Elope basically means run away secretly in order to get married. And it's a very foreign concept. A lot of couples that DM me, they actually tell me that they want to elope. And they want to basically just two of them, no parents, no family, go to somewhere, get married, and then come back.
So who's there at the venue? Nobody?
I think nobody.
So no you, just them?
No me, yes. As in the concept of eloping is basically the couple, and then they just go to somewhere, get married, maybe with just one justice of peace, get married or a pastor, and then come back. Yeah. Would you want to do that?
No, because me being me, I would love for my friends and family to witness this happy occasion.
Okay.
Also, I feel like in Singapore, a lot of us actually do wedding banquets for the sake of our parents, right? We want them to feel the happiness, to witness us walk into the next phase of our lives.
Yep.
So that's not something that I would choose to, even if the stress builds up or gets too much. But I do know another close alternative though, and that is destination weddings. A lot of couples, they decide to go overseas and hold a smaller, more intimate destination wedding where they can have more fun, let loose a bit more, and just have a close party by their side.
I do understand the concept for eloping actually, because if you talk about private proposal, isn't it the same? It's like you want just, like we had a private proposal, right? I just want both of us to share this special moment. And I think it's fair for them to say, even for my wedding, I want it to be just two of us. Yeah.
Do you all know like the trend these days is like to have like smaller weddings that cost like a lot less? Like you just invite like the closest family and friends. Like some of them don't even have like a banquet. They just do it at the ROM and then treat them meal. Yeah. What do you all think of those?
Honestly, I will do it. But like you said earlier on, I think the reason why we are doing a bigger wedding now is because of our parents, because of my family. And I'm the first one in my family getting married. So obviously, my parents have not had this opportunity to have their friends, have our extended family over for this huge, lunch banquet. So I think I'm really doing it for them. Yeah. And for our friends who's, seen us grow, who have seen us, coming together. I think it's good to all come together one day, just have a big lunch and celebrate this moment.
Yeah, so the wedding hosting that I was talking about just now, they are holding it at a small, cozy restaurant, not more than 100 people.
Yep.
And the amount it costs for them to host this wedding is actually less than the average that we spoke about just now.
Yes.
It's less than $30,000. And that is something that fit the budget very well, aligned with their vision very well. Why not? They even have the extra capacity to have this after party after the banquet.
And you will still not break the bank.
Yeah, and it's not even a banquet. It's like a buffet style, which they love.
Yes.
And as their friends, we're all like, let's go have fun.
Yeah.
I think it really boils down to personal preferences.
Right.
But for us, I think we feel like our parents would prefer a sit-down banquet where we have our family over.
Yep.
Speaking on that note of parents, do you think parents' expectations caused us more stress?
I'm fortunate that my parents are pretty chill when it comes to our wedding, because I feel like from the get-go, I told them clearly that, hey, I'm doing this wedding, for you guys. Because we love you guys. And if not, I would have, done a destination wedding. And I feel like they understood from that, and they are trying not to overstep this boundary.
Yeah. Do you think there's a family who have stronger opinions of our wedding? Is it my family or your family?
I wouldn't say stronger opinions, but I would say expectation because your siblings are married.
Yeah.
So they have seen 2 weddings.
Yeah. My parents have been, they are familiar with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
While my parents, they are like, oh my gosh, it's the biggest day of my life. Not even like biggest day it's their biggest day of their life, not even their own wedding, and they have been trying to like lose weight. They've been doing all sorts of things just for that one day.
Yeah, they're gonna like get the hair done. Auntie is gonna buy like a beautiful dress. They are super excited for the wedding.
Yes.
And I can totally understand that. I think we are very fortunate that both our parents, they are rather chill about the wedding when it comes to the logistics and what has got to be done.
Yep.
I remember very early on, your mom actually requested for a church wedding,
Ah.
to which James rejected. It's not even me. James rejected because he feels like we just want everything to be done one day, one location, there and then.
Yes.
Like, that's what we believe we want.
Yes.
So there were certain non-negotiables when it comes to planning our wedding. First of all, being the single location. We didn't want to do like fetch the bride from the bride's house, then we go to the groom's house, have tang yuan, do don't know what, and then we go to the hotel, right?
Yes.
We thought that would take up too much time. So we decided to have everything in one single place, which is unconventional, not very common 10 years ago, for example.
Yes.
But now I feel like more and more couples are increasingly doing so.
Yeah, I feel like we're cutting away a lot of traditional stuff. Like if there are things that we don't understand why the people in the olden days are doing it, we're not doing it.
But one thing though, I want to say, input from the family has actually been helpful. And that is the 过大礼 ceremony.
Oh.
I know we mentioned like, okay, previously we really didn't want to do this 过大礼.
Yes.
But at the same time, we also really want to respect what our parents want. And James's parents were so sincere in giving something to my family, and I didn't want to turn them down.
Yep.
So we actually sat down, had a conversation, and their input actually helped us very quickly decide on what has to be done. So that's it. We've concluded that we are moving forward.
Yes.
And we are not like thinking about it anymore.
Yeah. I feel like if my kids one day tell me, hey, Dad, I do not want to have a 过大礼, I'll be like, sure, son.
Yeah, man.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, if you don't want to do it. So I feel like the tradition ends with us.
Yeah, probably this generation, maybe
Yeah.
we really don't see the need anymore.
Yep.
But who knows, 20 years down the road, we'll see again. Another big factor of stress when it comes to wedding planning, of course, it has got to be the finances.
Oh.
Money, right? We
Yes.
talked about like an average of $30,000 to $50,000, but there can be couples spending way more than that. So I actually sort of like surveyed my friends around me just to find out how much they decided to spend on their wedding and how they even come up with this figure.
Yes.
So Tae Ying, for example, we know that she held this massive wedding, 70 over tables, right? I asked her, how do you decide to, on a budget for your wedding? She said, based on the number of tables and number of packs.
Yep.
So that gave her like a gauge. Another pair, they said that, okay, 3, 2, 1, they'll shot the budget out together. And coincidentally, they shot out the same figure, which
Oh my
is
gosh.
50K.
Imagine one says 10K, one says 100K.
Oh my gosh. Then,
3,
yeah,
2, 1, 10K, 100K.
hard conversations will have to be had. But they shouted out 50K together. They're like, oh, great. So this is the amount that we're working with. Then I asked them, did you actually keep to that amount? They said, yes, we did.
Okay.
That was nice. I remember we worked on one wedding together.
Oh my
where-
gosh, we got to tell them this story.
Yes, James was the pianist. I was the host for this wedding.
Yes.
So I actually went to ask the groom, actually, how much do you decide to spend on the wedding and how much do you end up spending? The groom told me that, okay, their budget was about 100K to 150K. They had less than 15 tables, let me tell you that. It's not a lot. It's not a big wedding. They had like maybe max 14 tables. 100K to 150K is quite a bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's quite a bit, yeah.
But they decided to engage singers to come to their wedding because they like it. So he flew a singer in from overseas and hired a local singer as well.
Yes.
He ended up spending close to $300,000 on a wedding. I'm like, that's insane. That is a lot of money.
But if you have the money, go for it. we are not here to condemn on the extravagant weddings, but I feel like 300,000 is a lot of money. What can we do with $300,000? I could
lot.
go to Antarctica like 30 times.
Can you actually?
I think I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For $300,000,
Could
we
buy
can
a
buy
BTO.
BTO.
You could do a BTO.
Yeah, it could be easily the down payment for your 5-room HDB, for example.
So I think whenever we see reports online or we see people doing extravagant weddings, I feel like some people are very quick to judge. They are very quick to cast a stone because they feel like you guys are just wasting money. But I truly understand sometimes we are spending not just on ourselves, but we're spending for our loved ones. For example, one thing that really adds up to the cost is our bridal party's room. Because like we are getting room for our bridal party because they have to come and help out. And we want them to enjoy after the wedding as well.
Yep.
So all that cost adds up to, the budget that we have. And I feel like that's okay because that's our way of loving them. That's our way of appreciating them. So yeah, that's why sometimes, the wedding may look expensive, but it's not on the couple, it's on the people around them.
So the day after the wedding is going to be super tiring, right? We want them to have a space to rest, and then the next morning we can go out together.
Yes.
Like that's our idea of treating them well,
Yes.
spending more time together with them.
Yes.
Yeah, even though that adds a bit of cost to our budgeting, we feel like that's justifiable. Another cost of the wedding that I personally also didn't see us agreeing to spend money on is the wedding decor.
Let's talk about how we set budgets for the wedding. Because with the decor and everything coming in, we realize, oh my gosh, the costs are going up really fast, really high, and you want to cap it.
Yep.
Okay? So how we do it is actually we set a budget for a certain category. For example, we have X budget for decor. Then Y budget for our friends, for the rooms, for example. Yeah.
And I think this is where the wedding coordinator really comes in very, very handy because she will always check in with us to see if our budgets are aligned.
Yes.
Before we proceed with a certain something.
Yeah. So we give her a budget and then she go and find the vendors for us.
So that's really helpful. And we know for sure that the tables come with a fixed cost, right? However many tables we have to multiply by how much each table costs. So that is something that we cannot change. But what can be changed or what we can sort of control will be the other things that we spend around the banquet itself.
Yes.
Do you feel like wedding planning has affected our relationship?
I think no.
Really?
Because I feel like, and I want to say this again, Hazy deals with a lot of the wedding prep. And I feel a little bit bad, to be honest, because on top of her busy schedule, she would like sometimes just sit down with a computer and then reply to text and to vendors. And I want to help, but at the same time, I'm not very good with planning, And I feel like you like the planning as well. So
I quite enjoy
yeah,
it,
of course,
yeah.
I try to offer as much help as I can. Like if you need anything, let me know and then I'll do it. But she really, really is the MVP of our wedding prep.
Okay, then just promise me that you'll read the group chats. That's
I'll read
the
group
most I will ask. Okay.
I'll just read, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read the
You
group
can
chat.
reply if you want, but read it. Sometimes I feel a little disconnected from James when it comes to the process of wedding planning. I'll be very honest in this because it's like whatever I've communicated with the vendors, it seems like he's really out of it. And it will be a little hurtful sometimes if I put in the work to, plan certain things, but end up he asked me about the exact same thing that we spoke about maybe like 3 days ago with the vendors. So these are like just certain instances where I think a little friction is caused. I know it's inevitable, but that's when communication comes in and I have to tell him, okay, you know what, like, can you at least read the chats? That will be a lot easier on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are also times when I feel like we definitely have bonded more as a team over the wedding planning.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to speaking with our wedding coordinator together and making decisions together as a couple.
Yeah. I feel like it's really cool when we have this idea of what we want in a wedding and then we actually manage to kind of
Pull it off. See it come to life, right?
Yeah, I feel like that is like like babying something. Babying a plan, babying an event that, eventually we are going to pull it off.
Okay, so to wrap up this episode, what is one piece of advice that we would offer to a couple about to start planning? I'm going to say a couple of things. First of all, decide early actually what matters to the both of you. And you're going to get a lot of opinions, right? But try not to let these opinions drown out your own. I think you have to set expectations with each other, not just with the vendor or your wedding coordinator, because the expectations between each other is where most of the tension come from. Like I mentioned just now, something as small as reading a group chat can create tension, but that is something that you have to iron out. And for me, I'm someone who cares about the little details, like what is the font type, the font size on our wedding invitation. These little things actually add up to a lot of stress in me, but it's important to learn how to control this stress. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 being the most stress, I really try my best not to let the stress level hit above a 3, for example. Whenever I feel like I'm getting too stressed, I stop the planning, do other things first, and then come back to it when I'm feeling better. So managing your emotions are very important as well.
Well said. Well said. I just want to say that you do whatever you want for the wedding if it's within your means. And if there are things that you don't understand why you're doing it, or why your parents are doing it, or why your grandparents are doing it, then consider not doing it. And if your parents are okay, then yeah, don't do it. You know? Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say.
We hope that by sharing our opinions on this episode, it has given you some clarity on how you would like to execute your own wedding planning. And if you are in that process as well, all the best. Don't forget to have fun, okay?
Yep. And DM me how much you spent for your wedding. I want to know.
Okay, for James. You can drop us a DM anytime on our Instagram at James and Hazel. Don't forget, new episodes of The Couples Classroom drop every Saturday, 8 p.m. on various platforms. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Bye!